Welcome to the first box seat episode for the new Belmont Park season. We return to the winter headquarters of racing on Saturday, where the rail is true, and in typical Belmont Park style, it's going to be raining on the weekend, 21 degrees and showers on Saturday. Race number 1, first race of the season, a small select field for the stayers. It is the free entry to Belmont Park handicap at 2200. And we're going to watch the Eurythmic Stakes victory of MAROCCHINO.
They'd balanced up MAROCCHINO by a length and a half to 2. Come play with me. He'll dig in and he'll find as well under hard riding, but MAROCCHINO responds. He responds magnificently. 150 to go. He'd shot 3.5 in front of Come Play With Me. Down the outside then is Mackenzie Brook, but it's all the way for MAROCCHINO. 4 straight and in the zone, MAROCCHINO.
A Diggers Cup, then a Eurythmic Stakes, and very, very impressive, this horse. We see him win 4 in a row. On the weekend, he goes around at $1.50 and looks, for all intents and purposes, like making it 5 in a line. And after that, you would imagine that Lou Luciani will head to the paddock and then aim him up at some of the features come Ascot next season. Number 1, no shocks here. MAROCCHINO to win 5 in a line here under William Pike. From number 3, Mackenzie Brook, who also comes from that replay. Pretty hard to see her turning the tables on the favourite, but she definitely looks like the horse that can run second. Number 2, Bella's Idol with the use of the claim. Been up for a long time, but has been racing well. And then in a toss-up between the roughies, I went Saucy Jack, who can roll to the top here. Lead for a fair way, but ultimately could be outclassed. The numbers in race number 1, 1, 3, 2 and 4. Race number 2, Valet Jimmy Gallagher, plate over 1,000 metres for the 2-year-olds. We're going to watch another dominant display from number 1, Flying Missile.
Ultimate Commander led the way, Flying Missile, about to be clicked up by Chris Parnham to come after Ultimate Commander. Now he does, and he releases the brakes, but he's got a battle on his hands. Ultimate Command is fighting tooth and nail. Ultimate Command and Flying Missile, the stablemates having a 2-horse war. It'll be the favourite, though, that prevails. Flying Missile was too strong.
The stablemate definitely pushed her there, Ultimate Command, when getting that 1 kilo weight swing from their previous encounter. But in the end, Flying Missile was able to hit top gear, come away and record another pretty dominant display, I thought. 1, 2 in a line, this filly. She's looking to make it 3 in a line. Ultimate Command, a straight. Those horses that have been finishing behind her, they bypass her here. Whether or not they're looking for a different race or whether or not they've gone to the paddock, still to be seen. But Flying Missile goes around one more time for Neville Parnham, and she should be making it 3 in a line. Should be hard to beat here with all that really good exposed Ascot form. Number 1 to make it 3 in a line in Flying Missile. From number 7 in Vranyo, the blinkers go on this filly of Simon Miller's. Has been out for a spell, has trialled up pretty impressively recently. Jimmy Taylor's speedy little filly Dance Session. She's going to be in front for a long, long way. She is electric out of the machine. Number 10, Forever Dreaming, on debut here, undefeated at trials, looks to have a bit of promise for Team Webster. Our numbers in race number 2, siding with the race form, 1, 7, 8 and 10. Race number 3, Tab Touch West Speed Platinum handicap over a mile. We're going to watch the first up run of number 3, Born to Try.
Born to Try with the job in front of her. Locker in led at the 250. Fiery Water, though, gobbled her up very quickly and hit the front. A length and a half away behind those. Then is Hip Wiggle. Born to Try running on, but Fiery Water had kicked clear. Born to Try is surging down the outside. The post looms, though, and Fiery Water clings on. Fiery Water from Born to Try.
Born to Try is exactly what she did there. She was a real tryer's effort. 2 months between runs, 2,000 back to 1,400, and spat out the back on a day where you had to be close-handy to the speed to be any chance of winning races. It was a day where it was awfully hard to make ground, especially out wide, and so when you consider that replay there where she came to the extreme outside, she made a really sustained run into second, and she was pulling ground off the winner in the finish in Fiery Water. I thought it was the effort of a mare that's about to go through the grades at Belmont Park over the winter, so we'll load her up here and probably as one of the better bets on the Belmont Park opener, number 3, Born to Try. From 5, Lord Lonsdale, senior rider goes on, a noted front runner, and we do know that Belmont Park on the opening meeting with the rail at True can suit those horses up on speed from time to time. Number 8, Street Fair, who finally broke through to win his second race last time out. A little bit of confidence might just be what this 5-year-old has needed. And then number 1, Friars Fantasia, a mare who gets back in the run but is drawn a nice gate to get a smother. My numbers in race number 3, 3, 5, 8 and 1. Race number 4, Glenroy Chaff Handicap over a mile, a 60+ graduation. We go back to a midweeker, a 3-year-old No Metro win last year race, and watch the narrow defeat of Try For Us.
But it's War Warrior who's travelling well into the home straight, shifting away from the fence. 2 clear, Perfect Gem now. Try For Us is starting to build tempo. Back on the inside, Bragwell's running on. War Warrior's the leader. Perfect Gem on the outside. Try For Us the inside. What a great battle. It's Perfect Gem. Try For Us against the inside. Bragwell's coming through. Bragwell, Try For Us. Nothing in it.
She's a filly we've been following here on the box seat. She was the best bet on the program 2 meetings ago when she was victorious. And unfortunately, she was the best bet on the program in that replay that we just watched, where she was beaten by a nose by Bragwell. I do think that will hold up as a form reference. Bragwell's a 3-year-old of Steve Wolf's who's always showed ability. In fact, he ran 5th in last year's WA Guineas behind some very talented types. Try For Us, she steps out to a mile, she takes on the older horses for the first time. She's drawn a gate where she's going to get a world perfect run under Chris Parnham, who's riding a stack of winners in WA at the moment. She sneaks in on the minimum, she looks a progressive filly, and listening to Adam Durant, she may well be on her way toward a Belmont Oaks. So if she's going to get out over the trips, then a mile shouldn't worry her on Saturday. Pretty keen to keep following this filly, don't see why she can't be victorious here. Number 13, Try For Us. Number 7, Sluice Box from Ash Maley's yard, has been riddled with bad luck, has been riddled with bad barriers. Hopefully on the weekend, everything goes right for Sluice Box because he looks to have found a very nice race. Number 8, Aragain, who comes up in grade but gets some noted weight relief here. The 2 kilo claim for Maddie Derrick and the wide gate, she's the kind of mare that probably is suited marching 3 wide the trip. Down to number 10, The Verdict, another 3-year-old taking on the older horses here. Comes from a fairly moderate midweeker, but it's hard not to like the way this filly goes about and up on speed. My numbers in race number 4, 13, 7, 8 and 10. Race number 5, CTS Low Loaders Handicap at 1200 metres. Going to be highlighted by the return of a Ceresan white mare called Bright Diamond. So we're going to the trials to see how she's resumed.
Is to rise again. Bright Diamond pulling out wider, then Argent Door, Time Stands Still, and What About Moi? Under severe pressure now is Choice Command. Levelling up on the outside is Brad Parnham with Powerful, but out wider, Bright Diamond finishing strongly. Bright Diamond swoops and goes clear. Bright Diamond battling on Choice Command. Cornflower out wider. What About Moi coming on, but a slick performance from Bright Diamond. Bright Diamond defeat.
A lot to like about that trial under Kira Yule. Yes, she got stuck into Bright Diamond, but I love the way that she attacked the line and ran through it. We got a little bit of a sighter through that form at the midweek meeting at Pinjarra Park because the second horse from that trial, What About Moi, ran a really nice race at an each-way quote. So I'm going to go with Bright Diamond here, who's had 4 starts in her life, 3 victories and a second. She looks like she has a massive ceiling, and reading between the lines, it seems as though Bob Peters is deliberately keeping her to Belmont Park because that's where she's raced so far and been so effective. So at her return to racing here under William Pike, I think Bright Diamond can prove too strong and make it 4 wins from 5 outings and a very imposing strike rate. Number 5 for me at her return in Bright Diamond. Number 1, Pooley, a mare of Darren Taylor's. Going to be right up on speed. In fact, he's a gelding, so apologies to Pooley. I always get that one mixed up, not quite sure why. But he is a talented horse. He did push Elite Street one day, and I think if he finds the front here, he can definitely give some cheek. Number 11, Enduring Moment, a really nice trialer. Won't see a lot softer at the trials than what this horse produced recently. Looks a capable type in the making. Number 3, the mare Universal Pleasure. Fresh here for Steph Verhala, scratched recently to save for what looks a more suitable race on paper. My numbers in race number 5, 5, 1, 11 and 3. Race number 6, Amelia Park Handicap at 1300 metres. We get to see SJ Miller's undefeated filly go around again. This is Timely Outburst.
The straight 350 out, Timely Outburst quickly raced up and headed Janora. She sprints away 2 or 3 lengths. Material Witness is zigging and zagging. Pike goes back towards the inside, making ground. Timely Outburst in front. Smart Princess is starting to really lengthen late, but Timely Outburst is giving and giving plenty and goes home to win again. Timely Outburst makes it 3 for 3.
Interesting little race to assess this because Timely Outburst, our replay horse, is 3 from 3 undefeated. Can't do more than that, very impressive already. but all three runs at 1,000 metres. She now steps beyond 1,000 for the first time in her life. Not to 1,100, not to 1,200, but out to 1,300 metres. She comes from Wednesday racing up into Saturday racing. So all of a sudden, furthest she has ever been, toughest opposition she's ever seen. So I'm just going to tiptoe around her and push her down the order. I don't think that she's one that can't win by any stretch. She can definitely win this race, but I'm just going to see whether or not we can get her beaten. Number 2's the way I'm going. A 3-year-old of Danny Morton's called Callaroo. Building into the campaign, got a long way back first up, was a little bit luckless second up. Senior rider goes on third up, should be suited by the long straight at Belmont Park. And we're likely to get double figures about this horse, so I'm going with it each way. Number 2, Callaroo. From 5, She's God to You, who led throughout in a very dominant display last start and in a form race that has absolutely held up in the last couple of weeks. Number 8, our replay horse in Timely Outburst. And number 11, the likely favourite resuming in the Cerise and White, in Real Grace. My numbers in race number 6, 2, 5, 8, 11. Race number 7, Crown Perth Handicap over a mile. We're going to watch Billy Ain't Silly get nailed in the shadows of the post last start in a heartbreaker.
Billy Ain't Silly, he led by 2. On the outside, Bruce Almighty, battling Creator. 10 Snip can't pick up though as Romilly goes to work inside the 200. Billy Ain't Silly is the leader. Bruce Almighty, he's starting to cut the margin down. On the outside, Bruce Almighty goes to Billy Ain't Silly. Billy Ain't Silly, Bruce Almighty. They'll hit the line, bob of the heads. Tight go, Bruce.
I must admit, I thought Billy Ain't Silly was home and hosed when they rounded the corner at his most recent. He was able to shrug off the horse in the breeze. He gave a really good kick turning for home at Ascot. And I thought that, well, he'd be able to fight off Bruce Almighty, especially with the weight pull that he had. All credit to Bruce Almighty, who ran him down from a tougher run in transit, but I am going to stick here with Billy Ain't Silly. I know there's going to be people out there that are thinking this horse might be ready for the paddock, but I'm going to go one more time and trust in the master trainer, Colin Webster. Steps out to a mile, there's a nice little gear change here. Blinkers off, visors on, just something small but something special here to just try and get him to settle in the middle stages as he has his first crack at a mile. It is a long straight at Belmont Park, so he will be left there a sitting duck, but I do think Billy Ain't Silly is a 3-year-old that we follow no matter where he goes at the moment. He's just racing that well. So for me, it's number 9, Billy Ain't Silly. Number 4, Tin Snip, who couldn't beat him last start, couldn't beat him the start before, but all of a sudden has the inside draw, the services of William Pike, and a wonderfully soft map. Number 5, Creator, who won 2 in a line before his most recent. And number 3, Mrs. Brown's Boy, backing up off 7 days. My numbers in race number 7, 9, 4, 5 and 3. Race number 8 is the $100,000 feature on Saturday. Sky Racing TV Provincial Championship Series final over 1,400 metres. A nightmare of a race to try and dissect from a form reference. We're going to go back 2 starts ago, watch the track record win of Super X, and also other horses in and amongst there, Jag the Joker, Fair Joy, and Tiff Has Spoken.
The race straightened up 2 clear of Super X. Jag the Joker, the grey, pushing up towards the inside. Rosebush back in the middle. Black Smuggler through along the rail. Followed further back by Tiff Has Spoken. Convicted Man next. Inside the last 200. Super X lets down now and quickly joined Fair Joy. Jag the Joker is trying hard, but Super X is booted nicely clear with about 75 to go. And Super X is home and hosed. Super X won from Jag the Joker. Tiff Has Spoken.
It's the form race I'm going to focus in on because it was a track record breaker. So we know from a times perspective it was run hard and fast and genuine. Pretty hard to knock Super X's effort out of that because he tracked that hot tempo set by Fair Joy, did all the work in the run and still was too strong. The effort of the grey, Jag the Joker, I thought was meritorious, and the run that I'm actually going to tip through is the one of Tiff Has Spoken, who did it very tough, 3 wide the trip, as is the case with Tiff Has Spoken, who doesn't tend to get much luck in running. Drawn an inside gate, I'm hopeful that he can step cleanly, settle in the first half of the field and stay somewhere out of traffic. Banking on Alan Kennedy here, second up for Tiff Has Spoken, for a horse that's been promising to win better races than this throughout his entire career. He goes around each way, and you probably do need each way from a betting perspective because he is a horse that can find traffic issues. But fingers crossed for Alan Kennedy and Sharon Miller that it can be a 100,000 feature going the way of number 7 in Tiff Has Spoken. Number 3, Zachariah Bow, who's a horse that is absolutely flying for Greg Buglehole. Gets back from the wide draw, but he will rocket at them late. Number 5, Dark Assault, the likely favourite, who brings slightly alternate form references. A race behind Sun in the midweekers, and also a race behind Kazkazi, a 70 plus down at Albany. But you draw a gate and you gain the services of 1, W Pike. And then our replay horse, number 2, Super X. A query at 1400, no doubt, but he managed to get a nice run over the top of the speed. He definitely runs for Brad Rawilla. My numbers in race number 8, 7, 3, 5 and 2. Race number 9 is the Heineken 3 handicap at 1200 metres. We watch the second up win of Angelic Miss.
Glasgow Girl had reached the lead. The Baldy Face Me hit the front from Bo Zoom. On the outside, Island Charm. Here comes Angelic Miss right down the outside. She's finishing with a great burst in front of Moshard. With 50 left to go, Angelic Miss hit the front from Bo Zoom. Moshard late, but Angelic Miss a grand effort. Angelic Miss beat Bo Zoom or Moshard.
Well, on a day where it was tough to make any ground, this mare came charging down the outside to score victory, and it was the run of a mare who looks like she's ready to go right through the grades over the winter. We know that these progressive mares of Simon Miller's, Amacinus, Miss Kentucky and now Angelic Miss are very hard to beat when they continue their way through the grades. But just for a point of difference, I'm going to go with a horse coming out of Kalgoorlie, who's likely to open anywhere from $15 to $18, and his name is Magnaforce. He's got a wonderful winning strike rate. In fact, he's won 9 from 25. He does have to bring that form from the KBRC back to the metro area. And that is the tough part, to try and line him up here in terms of form references. But I love the way this horse goes about it. He's a proven weight carrier. He's a horse that can sit back. He's a horse that can lead. He's a horse that from the draw can take a sit just behind them. Paddy Carberry should give him the run of the race, and he goes around at double figures. So I'm going to have a throw at the stumps in the last with number 2 in Magnaforce. Number 11, Angelic Miss, you know where she's going to be in the run. She'll be in the back half, and if they are making decent ground at Belmont, then clearly she's the one to beat. Number 5, Shantalk, 3-year-old filly of Rusty Stewart's, who gets a little bit of weight relief now, coming up against the older horses. And number 12, in Kelvin, a blowout type if Bo Edwards does find the front. My numbers in race number 9, 2, 11, 5 and 12. Best bets for the opening program at Belmont Park. Race 4, number 13, Try For Us. Race 5, number 5, Bright Diamond. Free entry to Belmont Park all throughout the season. Doesn't matter if it's a Wednesday, doesn't matter if it's a Saturday. It's free entry, and we'll see you there.